Right guys, hello, another video for you, more content on The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 Retribution. What we're going to focus on this video is Zen and the art of reloading. With a bit of practice, I'll have you guys reloading like pros. We'll break the video down with timestamps for the different weapons. You might struggle with some of them, it's a little bit finicky, but I have faith with a bit of practice, trial and error, you'll manage to figure it out. So do it in this area where it's nice and safe. Remember, you can go back, load from your previous saves, you don't waste the ammo practicing the reloads. Also point out for those that don't know, in the options we've got the handgun grip pitch offsets. You see mine set to -3. It will vary for you, and we all play on different systems, have different VR headsets, especially on PC, they have different controllers. So in essence what we're trying to do is look down the sights naturally on the handgun. If you're having to tilt your wrist up or down to look down the sights, that's unnatural, it's uncomfortable. It's going to take you longer to aim, you're going to be less accurate. So use that offset and that will tilt your virtual wrist up or down until you get it to the point where you can just pull your arm out and you're pretty much looking straight down those sights naturally. So more accurate, you miss less, you reload less. That's worth knowing. So let's start getting on to the reloading for the different types of weapons. We'll start with the pistols. So we'll start with the automatic. I don't want gun nuts telling me it's not an automatic. If you're not happy, take it up with Colt. They're semi-automatic 1911. They've had automatic engraved down the side of it forever. That's where 45 ACP comes from. Automatic Colt pistol. Fully automatic, semi-automatic, automatic is the word that it has in common. So what people need to understand is this works off magazines. This is not a clip, although it is quite often called a clip incorrectly in movies, TV shows, rap songs, whatever. But it's important that you know the difference, but that it is sometimes called a clip. There's games like Contractors, that's another VR game where you shoot guns, and it's actually in the options for the controls. It will say clip interaction button or words to that effect. And that means whether you're going to use the trigger or the grip button to interact with your tactical vest to take the magazine off. But they've called it the clip, so that makes it kind of confusing. But now you know. So what we want to do with this automatic is make sure that we don't run the gun dry. We see I've got a round in the chamber. So once I fire that off, the slide is locked back. Once I put in the fresh magazine, I need to work the action. I need to chamber around. It has to be cocked. Now this isn't an issue at the moment, but if I was surrounded by enemies or zombies, if you mess that up, if you forget to chamber that round, if you forget to work the action, or worse still, you don't cock it quite right, you've got zombies on top of you, you're going to get eaten alive, and we don't want that. So if you fired off a few shots and you've got a quiet spell, we do what's called a tactical reload. We push the button to eject and then catch with our grip button with the other hand. Now it's tactical because we retain that magazine, we're not just letting it drop to the floor and leave it, and we take a fresh magazine, put it in. But because the round was chambered, it wasn't empty, we are ready to fire, we don't need to work the action, so we're ready to rock. We've also got the revolvers. So here's the sheriff, but we've also got the other revolver. Some of you will be loading it in one round at a time. Can do that, but it's quite slow. What we want to do is speed load it. So a revolver would use clips, and that will put in 6 rounds at once. And we can't do all 6 rounds, but what we can do, if we put that cylinder over the ammo icon, tip the barrel up ever so slightly, with one pull of the grip button, we're going to quad load, we'll put 4 rounds in, like so. So if we do it twice, that will just put in the other 2. So with a bit of practice, you can reload it incredibly fast. So that's worth knowing. It brings us on to the shotguns. So we've got our double barrel here. There is a sawn off as well. The same trick will apply. So we've got 2 shells. Get it just in front of the ammo icon, a little bit above it. One pull of the grip button and I've put in both shells. So I can fire both of those barrels off pretty rapidly and reload pretty quick. So you can give it a flick, push the button to shut the action. It's up to you. That brings us on to the Nova. So we've got a weird glitch in the game at the moment where it'll keep telling me it's loaded when it's not. But yeah, we just have to grim and bear it. So what we want to do, let's get the flashlight out so you can see. We've got our loading port underneath, so we want to be putting our rounds in, but we don't want to do it one at a time. That's going to take forever. What we're going to do is get the trigger over the ammo icon slightly. We're going to tilt the barrel up ever so slightly, get our hand nice and close, and you see how quickly we've done that. Now it's telling me to work the action, chamber a shell, and once we do that we've made a room in the tube so we can put one more in, so it's 7 plus 1 is 8. So the thing to keep in mind, some people like to reload the flashy 80s action hero way with their left hand, but what will happen is as you go to try and grab that grip again, you'll more than likely just pick up a shell than actually grab the grip. With the shell in the hand, you holding that, you can't grab the grip. So yeah, that's not always the best reload technique, just keep that in mind. And do remember, as this deteriorates, gets used, it can jam on you. So I do prefer the double barrel, although it's not as durable. I find it a bit more fun. So we've got the lever action here. So 12 plus 1, we do not want to be doing this one round at a time. There's our loading port on the side. What we're going to do, we've got our ring for our ammo. We're going to put that ring through the receiver, through that loading port. I've got our hand over the top, and we're putting in those 4 rounds at a time. Of course, once we cock it, we've made a room for an additional rounds to go in, so that's 12 plus 1. So as I say, it takes a little bit of practice. Hopefully by following what I've said you'll get it nailed. Practice here, use your saves, go back and load an old save so you've not wasted your ammo, but hopefully it's helped you out and you guys can reload like pros. Now for those of you that are saying, oh well that's silly, one press of the grip button is putting in 4 rounds, go watch Keanu Reeves training to do John Wick. So he's double loading shotgun shells underneath, might even be quad loading, holding 4 shells at once in his hand and sliding them into the shotgun. It is actually possible. Pro shooters do that. So let's leave the video there, guys. Have a great day, have a great evening, whatever it is you choose to do after watching this, and as always I'll see you when I see you next.